thanks for joining us. I'm Brittany Amormino inside of Alvar. This is David, and he is one of our clients who's configured a motorhome to his needs. He's been a previous Class B'er, and you probably have seen him on some blogs and forums, so we'll ask him a few questions so you could hear more and learn a little bit more about the development of Alvar. So David, how did you hear about Advacned-RV?
Well, I heard about Advacned-RV when I first bought my Great West van in 2011, and at Great West told me, he said, we got a new client, is buying a Great West van that's asking for all these changes, and they said we're going to accommodate them, and that turned out to be Mike Neuendorfer. And he put in things that I didn't have, and I was a little bit jealous. One of them was the diesel hydronic heat, and a lot of other little minor features that I heard about. And so I started following his progress about it through Great West, and they were just very happy about it. And later I learned that Mike had formed Advacned-RV. So in May of 2012, guess who was the first visitor when they first announced their business officially? And Nancy and I showed up, and we looked at the very first van they had just got in that week. And 2 years later at Advance Fest, Nancy and I made the decision we were going to get a new Advacned-RV. We knew ahead of time at Advance Fest, but this was kind of like, well, let's go there and then make the decision. Well, my decision was already made, but it didn't take much to convince Nancy after we saw a few of them.
Great. And 8 months later, here we are sitting inside of Alvar. Great.
There were a few things I wanted to do too that hadn't been done before in a Class B motorhome. And one of them was the articulated electric beds, and they came about. We've traveled, we've gone all the way to Alaska over a 3-month period. And one thing I was noticing after being away so long is we could sit in these chairs, but these are the chairs we sit in all day long. And as comfortable as they are, captain chairs, they weren't that comfortable anymore. We had the electric sofa in the back, but as good as it was, all sofas in Class B motorhomes are uncomfortable after a while. They're not like your sofas at home, heavily padded, deeper, and higher backs. And I got to remarking, we've been on the road a long time, but I can't relax anywhere. And so I said, why don't, we just bought these zero gravity lounge chairs. And I said, why can't we have this inside so we can relax? And that's how it came about. Cool. So I started doing some research, and I found some stuff and realized that most of these kind of beds were either hospital beds or they were very popular in Europe. And so I put together some drawings and sent them to Mike and said, let's try something like this. And he jumped in all the way, and that's how we ended up with the beds.
Great. There's also a couple other design things that you wanted to take a closer look at, change a little bit. You're sitting in front of one of these areas. You want to tell us a little bit about how you wanted this space configured and if it's what you were picturing when you were sharing your idea?
Yes, there was a method to my madness. One thing is our previous RV, this wall here was right here, and you try to turn this seat around, you could only get it a little bit, and you could put a table right here. And one thing I wanted to do is I wanted to push this back so I'd have more room up here and have both seats equally as comfortable. And when I pushed this back, I realized that I could take this table, it be in the up position, drop it down like this, and here's my computer desk. So I can sit here and work, or I can sit over there and relax. or I can go back to the beds and really relax. So now we have this computer desk up here. We also have a portable table we can put right next to it, which is at the same height. So we have a nice big table together, and that was the objective, as I said, and we're very happy with it.
Great,
Yeah.
thanks. I know there was another detail when we were configuring, it's right behind us, the hydro-dipped dash kit, which was a new, something new that we had started doing, and your comment, as I recall, was that they don't typically, you can't find an exact match to the lamination and just the finished look of the cabinetry. With this process, there's a lot of different variations that we can match, and just what was your impression when you saw this kit?
Well, when you first told me you could do it, originally we had a brushed stainless steel or chrome look up here because I didn't want the fake wood look that was different than the cabinets. I thought that was kind of cheesy. When you told me you could do this, I said, well, if this can look like the cabinets, then that's what I want. So it looks great. And it's a very close match, right on, actually.
Great. So now we can take a closer look at the articulating beds. So now we have Nancy in the back, David's wife, and we're going to work on looking at how these beds operate. And Nancy, you have your iPhone 6 Plus, right?
Yes, this is a 6 Plus.
And then I have the iPhone 6, just the regular one. And it has you set up a selection so you can pick from bed 1 and 2. And on the first screen, there's 3 screens on an app, which you can use by phone or on a tablet. The first screen, it has the foot setting, so you can see how Nancy will find the comfortable elevation for the lower portion. The head line is what I'm moving right now, and then you can also move just the pillow. If you can see this top section, gives you a little bit more support, or however you would like it set up. Is this what you were hoping for, Nancy?
Yes, it is, very much so.
So, and you can still see out the windows when you're outside if there's an area. And you guys had it elevated in the back. You want to tell us a little bit about why we're sitting up a little bit higher? And, well, you have a cat, right?
We have a cat, and so we want to put the kitty litter box underneath so that it won't be seen and easy for the cat to get in and out of. And we wanted plenty of storage space underneath the beds, so the whole level of the beds are built up higher to accommodate storage.
Great. Well, thanks for showing this little demonstration. And on the second screen there, I know you had it operating before, but there's a massage, and you can set the intensity of the vibration, or you could have it normal, pulse, and wave. So there's different ways of how it will vibrate, and then the intensity and the speed as well you can change. So those are some things that you can't quite see on camera, but Nancy's playing with them. And
the screen, and right now my back is vibrating.
So it's split up from head and foot, so you can separate it that way. There's a lot of different controls there. So that's the articulating bed design, and you guys put cup holders here.
Yeah, because we have found in our past RVs, when you're back here sitting on the couch, there's no place to put your beverage. So it's one reason why we wanted this console with cup holders.
And then when you're all done, or if you want to let the beds go flat, you just hit flat. And then we go for a ride. And then it's bedtime.
And you'll have to leave now.